Information and communication technology skills. Overview. Learning objectives. By the end of this topic, you will be able to understand the basics of ICT, recognize the role of ICT in daily life, identify common ICT tools, understand the components of a computer system, identify computer ports and motherboard components, understand different operating systems, functions of an operating system. Understand the history and working of the Internet, Internet applications and services. Understand email and social media tools. Recognize the goals of the Digital India Initiative. Information and communication technology. Information and communication technology. Information technology means using computers, software, and the Internet to store, get, and send information. Communication technology means sharing information using networks, like the Internet or mobile networks. When we put both together, it becomes information and communication technology. ICT helps us share, store, and access different types of information like text, pictures, audio, video, and more using digital devices. Role of ICT in personal life. ICT is part of many things we do every day. How ICT helps in personal life. Shopping. We can shop online without going to a store. It saves time and often gives better prices. Communication. We can talk to family and friends through emails, video calls, and social media, even if they are far away. Entertainment. Earlier we watched TV, but now we can watch movies and shows online whenever we want. Education. We can learn through online classes, even from schools and colleges in other countries. Healthcare. Computers help doctors keep records and use machines for better diagnosis. Some surgeries also use AI. Socializing. ICT helps us remember birthdays and stay in touch with old friends through social media. Getting information. Instead of just using books, we can now search the Internet for any information we need. In professional life, ICT has changed the way we work. Many people now work from home and use technology for their daily tasks. How ICT helps in professional life. Record keeping. Offices use software to store employee details, leaves, taxes, and other important data. E-commerce. Businesses sell products online, reaching more people and making shopping easier. Accounting. Companies use software to manage their accounts, prepare balance sheets, and check profits. E-banking. Banking is now online. We can transfer money or open accounts without going to the bank. ICT tools. These are some commonly used ICT tools. Computers. Used to do many tasks and are very important in today's world. Radio and television. These are still used and are now part of online media too. They help in shopping, spreading awareness, and sharing messages. Internet and emails. The internet gives us information on anything. Emails make it easy to send and receive messages quickly. Smartphones and tablets. These are not just phones, they work like computers and can be used for many purposes. Components of ICT. There are 6 main parts of ICT. Data. The raw information we give to a system. Example, marks entered for a student. Procedures. Steps or methods used to process data. Example, software that creates a report card from the marks. Information. The final output or result after processing data. Example, the ready report card. People. The users who enter data and use the results. Example, a teacher or office staff. Software. The programs used in ICT systems. Examples, MS Word, MS Excel, Visual Basic. Hardware. The physical parts of a computer system. Examples, keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, hard drive. What is a computer? A computer is an amazing machine that helps us do many tasks easily. It is an electronic device that takes input, processes it, and gives output in a specific format. It can also save the processed data to use later. A computer is made of 2 major components. Hardware. Hardware includes all the parts of the computer that we can touch and see. Examples, keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, motherboard, etc. Software. Software is a set of instructions that tells the computer to perform tasks. For example, when you buy a phone, the phone itself is hardware, and the apps inside are software. There are 2 types of software. System software. It manages and controls the hardware and acts as a link between the user and the computer. Examples of system software include operating systems like Windows, macOS, Linux, Android, iOS. Tools like file managers and disk formatters. Application software. It helps users do specific tasks. Microsoft Word for typing and editing documents. Microsoft Excel for calculations and creating charts. Basic operations of a computer. Computers perform 4 basic operations: input, process, output, and storage. Let's look at each of these in detail. Input. This is the raw data we give to the computer. This data is collected using input devices like a keyboard, mouse, scanner, or microphone. Process. The CPU changes the raw data into useful information. Output. This is the final result shown to the user through output devices like a monitor, printer, and speakers, etc. Storage. Storage is the process of saving data for future use on secondary storage devices such as hard drives, flash drives, or cloud storage services like Google Drive or OneDrive. Input process output cycle. The entire operation of a computer revolves around the input process output cycle. Input. is given using input devices. Process. CPU processes the data. Output. Output is shown using output devices. Storage. Data can be saved for later. Information. Sometimes, the output becomes the input for more processing. Characteristics of a computer. Computers have several key characteristics that make them indispensable in modern life. Speed. Computers are very fast and can do millions of tasks in 1 second. Speed is measured in hertz. Accuracy. Computers give correct results if correct data is given. If the wrong input is given, the output will also be wrong. Reliability. Computers are dependable. Example, flight bookings and online shopping use computers to give correct and safe information. Storage. Computers can store a lot of data in a small space for a long time. Versatility. Computers are used in many forms: smartphones, ATMs, tablets, GPS, medical machines, etc. Input devices. Input devices. Input devices are tools that help us give data or commands to a computer. The most common ones are the keyboard and mouse. Let's learn about some of these devices. Keyboard. It is used to type letters, numbers, and symbols into the computer. Mouse. It is called a pointing device because it moves a pointer on the screen. Scanner. A scanner copies written notes, pictures, or photos into a digital format. Microphone. A microphone turns sound into digital audio that can then be saved or edited on the computer. Light pen. A light pen looks like a regular pen and connects to the screen, senses the light from the screen to know where you are pointing, to draw or select items directly on the screen. Touch screen. A touch screen lets you touch the screen to give input. Barcode reader. A barcode is a group of lines on products. Magnetic ink character recognition. A microphone turns sound into digital audio that can then be saved or edited on the computer. Processing device, central processing unit. After a computer gets input, it needs to process it. The CPU processes the data. It is called the brain of the computer. The CPU has 3 main parts. Arithmetic logic unit. It does all the math, like addition, subtraction, and logical tasks, like comparing numbers. Control unit. It controls how data moves inside the computer. Just like a traffic police officer, it makes sure everything goes where it should. Memory unit. It stores both the raw and processed data temporarily so that the CPU can use it when needed. Computer memory. Computer memory stores data before and after processing. There are two main types of memory: primary memory, secondary memory. Primary memory. Primary memory is necessary for a computer to work. It's where the computer stores data before processing. It is also called internal memory. There are two types of primary memory: RAM and ROM. RAM is temporary memory that stores the data and programs that the computer is currently using. RAM is volatile, which means everything gets erased when the computer is turned off. It is called random access because the computer can quickly go to any part of the memory to read or write data. ROM is permanent memory. It is non-volatile, which means the data stays even when the computer is turned off. ROM is written by the manufacturer and cannot be changed easily. It stores important instructions that help the computer start and run. Secondary memory. Secondary memory is used for storing data permanently. It provides extra storage space and is also known as external memory. Hard disk. A hard disk stores large amounts of data and provides quick access to it. It is usually inside the computer, but external hard disks are also available. Hard disks have a large storage capacity ranging from gigabytes to terabytes. CD, compact disc. A CD is a small, round disk used to store and playback data like music, videos, text, and can store up to 700 megabytes of data. DVD, digital versatile disc. Similar to a CD but stores more. Can hold up to 10 gigabytes. Used for movies and big files. Blu-ray disc. Looks like a DVD but stores even more data. Up to 25 gigabytes. Used for high-definition videos and large files. Flash drive. Small and portable. Connects to a USB port. Stores data up to 2 terabits. Also called thumb drive. Memory stick. A small card used in devices like phones, cameras, and TVs. Storage ranges from 4 gigabytes to 128 gigabytes. Peripheral device ports. Ports are places where we connect devices like the mouse, printer, camera, or scanner to the computer. Let's learn about some common ports. Serial port. Sends data one bit at a time. It was used earlier for devices like mice and modems, but now USB ports are more common. Parallel port. Sends 8 bits at the same time. It was used for printers and scanners in older computers. USB port, Universal Serial Bus. A modern and very popular port. Used to connect devices like keyboards, printers, flash drives, cameras, and speakers. It also charges smartphones and tablets. Ethernet port. Used to connect the computer to the internet or a network using a cable. HDMI port, high definition media interface. Used to send high quality video and sound to devices like TVs, monitors, and projectors. Motherboard. The motherboard is the main circuit board inside a computer. It connects all the parts of the computer and allows them to work together. If the CPU is the brain, the motherboard is like the central nervous system. It contains ports to connect devices like the mouse, keyboard, or printer. Memory slots hold the computer's RAM. ROM BIOS chip helps the operating system talk to the computer's hardware. System clock keeps all parts of the motherboard working in synchronization. Power connector supplies power to the motherboard and all connected parts. Understanding operating system. What is operating system? An operating system is a special software that helps you use the computer. It acts like a bridge between you and the computer hardware. Without an OS, a computer wouldn't work. Examples: Windows, Unix, DOS. Types of operating systems. Unix. One of the oldest and most reliable operating systems. Made in the 1970s at Bell Labs. Uses a simple text-based interface called the shell to control the system. Some important features of Unix are: uses text commands to operate. Allows many users and many programs to run at the same time. Works on different types of computers. Has a tree-like file system to organize data. Disk operating system. Created by Tim Patterson and launched as MS-DOS by Microsoft in 1982. Used in early computers, especially with IBM PCs. Some important features are: single-user system, only one user at a time. Uses text commands, only, no pictures or icons. Doesn't support the mouse or graphical user interface. Used to create, copy, delete, and move files using commands. Windows. Developed by Microsoft, first launched in 1985. Added a graphical user interface to make computers easier to use. Some important features are: supports single and multi-user systems. Allows multitasking, run many apps at once. Uses icons and menus, easy to use with a mouse. Easy to connect to the internet. Some famous versions of Windows are: Windows 3.0, Windows 95, Windows NT, Windows 2000, Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, and the latest version is Windows 11. Linux. Open source operating system made by Linus Torvalds in 1991. Similar to Unix but easier to use. Some important features of Linux are: has a graphical interface. Free and open source, you can use, change, and share it. Supports multi-user and multitasking. Uses a structured file system. There are many different versions of Linux available, such as Red Hat, Ubuntu, Arch Linux. Mobile operating system. A mobile OS is designed for smartphones, tablets, and smart devices. Some important features are: uses touch-based GUI with menus and icons. Can run multiple apps at once. Supports communication via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and mobile networks. Popular mobile operating systems: Android, iOS, Windows OS. Types of operating systems. Operating systems can be categorized based on how they control the computer and what kind of applications they support. Here are some important types of operating systems. Single-user operating system. This type of operating system allows only one user to access the computer at a time. Examples of single-user operating systems are Palm computers and DOS. Multi-user operating system. In this type of operating system, multiple users can use the computer at the same time. Examples include Linux and Windows. Multiprocessor operating system. This system has more than one central processing unit, which helps the computer work faster. The CPUs can communicate with each other to coordinate tasks. Multiprocessor systems can run multiple programs at once. Multitasking operating system. A multitasking operating system lets you run multiple tasks or programs at the same time on one computer. All tasks share the CPU and can be prioritized depending on what is needed. Examples include Windows XP, Windows 7, Unix, and Linux. Real-time operating system. This system controls machines and instruments and performs tasks within a specific time period. It is commonly used in industrial systems and devices that require time-sensitive operations. Functions of an operating system. An operating system is like the main manager of your computer. It starts working as soon as you turn on the computer and keeps running until you switch it off. We interact with the OS to use different applications, so it's an important part of the computer. User interface. The OS acts like a bridge between you and the computer. It helps you communicate with the computer easily. You don't need to know computer coding to use it. Memory management. The OS takes care of the computer's memory. Keeps track of which program is using how much memory. Gives memory to programs when needed. Frees up memory when programs are closed. Manages memory wisely when many apps run at once. File management. The OS helps you manage files and folders. Helps you create, open, rename, move, and delete files. Let you organize your work in folders. Can protect important files with passwords. Device management. The OS manages all the devices connected to the computer, like the keyboard, printer, mouse, and hard drive. Keeps track of which device is being used. Uses device drivers to help the OS communicate with the devices. Shares devices between different programs. Process management. The OS helps the computer run many programs at once. Keeps track of what each program is doing. Gives time and resources to each task. Starts and stops tasks when needed. Security management. The OS keeps the computer safe from harm. Uses login IDs and passwords to stop strangers from using your computer. Runs firewalls to block unsafe internet activity. Works with antivirus software to scan for threats. Watches data being sent and received online. Communication services. The OS helps your computer connect and talk to other devices. Helps set up connections to the internet or a network. Manages web browsing and data transfer. Follows communication rules to send or receive data safely. Brief history of the Internet. In 1969, the ARPANET was created by the US Department of Defense's ARPA. It was first used for communication by the military and universities. In January 1983, ARPANET started using the TCP or IP protocol and was renamed the Internet. It then became available to the public in the US, connecting many computers and networks. The Internet grew over time and became known as the network of networks, spreading to other countries. In 1990, a computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, which made it easier to access information using hyperlinks and hypertext. After that, the Internet became an important part of daily life. How does the Internet work? The working of the Internet is as follows. At home, your computer or smartphone connects to the Internet through an Internet service provider. When you type a website address in your browser, your device sends a request to a web server for information. The web server sends the information in small parts, called packets, using a rule called Hypertext Transfer Protocol. These packets travel quickly through the Internet using Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. Your device receives and joins the packets to show the full information on the screen. All of this happens in just a fraction of a second. Terminologies of the Internet. Some of the important terms related to the Internet are: online, when your device is connected to the Internet; hyperlink or hypertext or link, a clickable word, image, or text that takes you to another page or website; webpage, a page on the Internet that has text, images, videos, or audio. It is made using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Website, a group of related web pages with a unique web address. Homepage, the first page of a website that gives links to other pages on that site. World Wide Web, a service on the Internet that includes web pages and websites connected by hyperlinks. It uses HTTP to access data. Web address or uniform resource locator, the address of a web page, like URLs, are turned into IP addresses using DNS. DNS, like a phone book of the Internet. It changes website names into IP addresses that computers understand. IP address, a unique number given to every device on a network. It helps send data to the right place. Protocols. Protocols are a set of standardized rules that devices follow to communicate efficiently over a network. These rules ensure that data is transmitted without errors or collisions. Different protocols are used for different types of data transmission. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Used to send and receive web pages, text, images, and videos from web servers. Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. A safe version of HTTP, used for secure websites like online shopping and banking. It keeps data private. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Used for sending emails over the Internet. File Transfer Protocol. Used to transfer large files and folders. It checks and recovers lost data during transfer. Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. TCP breaks data into packets, sends them, and reassembles them at the destination. It makes sure no data is lost. IP addresses the packets and makes sure they reach the correct device. Applications of Internet. The Internet is used in many areas of our daily life. Communication. Some of its main uses are: email, send and receive messages using an email address. Chatting, real-time text messages, like having a conversation. Video conferencing, talk and see people online, share screens, and work together. Searching information. Use search engines like Google to find information by typing keywords. Social networking. Websites like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn help people stay connected and share updates. Online games and entertainment. The Internet has become a major source of entertainment, offering online games, movies, music, and even virtual musical instruments. E-commerce. Buy and sell goods and services online, making shopping easier. Education. Attend online classes, watch tutorials, take exams, and even earn degrees from home. Online banking. Do banking activities like sending money or checking balances over the Internet. Health and medicine. Doctors and hospitals use the Internet for patient records, online consultations, and live monitoring. Components of Internet. To use the Internet, some important parts are needed. Web client, your device that accesses the Internet through a browser. Web server, a computer that stores websites and sends data when someone requests it. Web browser, a program like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, etc. that lets you visit websites. Internet service provider, a company that gives you access to the Internet. In India, BSNL was the first ISP in 1995. Email. Email lets you send and receive messages through the internet. It's quick, cheap, and works from anywhere. Components of an email address. An email address is unique to a user and is made up of username, a unique identifier for the user. @ separates the username and domain name. Domain name, the email service provider. Examples of email addresses: orangebooks@gmail.com, authors_orange@hotmail.com, anjana.shalini@outlook.com, myaccount@orangeeducation.in. Structure of an email message. Header includes information like from, the sender's email address, to, the recipient's email address. Carbon copy, used to send the same email to multiple recipients. Recipients can see who else got the email. Blind carbon copy, used to send the email to multiple recipients without them knowing who else received it. Subject, a brief description of the email's topic. Body, the actual message content, including the sender's signature. Attachments, you can attach files such as documents, images, or videos to the email. Attachments are usually represented by a paperclip icon. Date, the date and time the email was sent. Advantages of email: fast, available 24/7, cost-effective, send to many people easily. Introduction to social media. Social media is a way to share thoughts and information with others using the internet. Social networking means making and maintaining online connections with people who have similar interests. It helps you stay in touch with family, friends, customers, and followers. Blogs. A blog is a website where people or organizations post ideas or updates like a diary. Posts appear with the latest ones on top. Blogs can be about sports, politics, education, entertainment, etc. They may have text, pictures, audio, videos, and links. A blogger is a person who writes blogs. Celebrities often use blogs to connect with fans. Some popular free blog platforms are Blogger, Wix, and WordPress. Twitter. Twitter is a platform to post short messages called tweets. Tweets can include text, images, videos, or audio. You can follow others to see their tweets. Celebrities, athletes, and politicians use Twitter to share updates. Users can also take part in Twitter chats to discuss topics. Facebook. Facebook is one of the largest social networking sites. It was started in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg at Harvard University. It allows users to share thoughts, pictures, videos, and more. Facebook also helps businesses promote their products and brands. YouTube. YouTube is a platform for sharing and watching videos. You can find videos on almost any topic. Videos can be shared on social media or websites. It is widely used by content creators to share videos with a large audience. WhatsApp Messenger. WhatsApp is a free app for messaging and calling. It is owned by Facebook. You can send texts, photos, videos, documents, locations, and make voice or video calls using the internet. It helps people stay connected with friends, family, and work groups. Digital India. Digital India is a government campaign started by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 1st July 2015. Its goal is to make India a digitally advanced country. The campaign helps bring government services online to make them faster and easier for citizens. It also improves internet facilities and supports IT development. Main goals of Digital India: provide high-speed internet in villages, make government services available online, give digital knowledge to all citizens,